Good morning, guys. I am Katie from Mitza Creek Farm, and welcome back to the channel. We have had so much going on here in the past 5 days or so. It has been absolutely nuts, but I thought I would show you everything that is going on and what we are doing. We are under fire advisories today, which is crazy because we had so much rain just a few weeks ago, but super low humidity and the winds are supposed to pick up. But it's weird because it's really overcast and cool out today, and you can see the sun behind me up higher. There we go. It's like a big red glow. It's almost like it's really smoky out. I don't have a sense of smell, so I can't really smell it, but I would think that maybe there's a big forest fire somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's not like overcast haze. It's different. Like smoke, like in the past when we've been in a drought and there's been forest fires in northern Minnesota, but I don't know. Okay, so I am in my front yard, and I have my breakfast. Sydney made this. I bought it from the bakery where she works, where she's doing her internship at. And I'm on my way down to the high tunnel, but I thought I would show you guys this. This is my perennial garden that I started a couple years ago. I really let the weeds take over in here last year, so I've been coming out every evening and weeding just for like 15 or 20 minutes. I wasn't planning on putting in red mulch, but it was on sale and it was the quickest and easiest solution for me at the time, so we're just gonna go for it. But I have these little hydrangeas here that were getting choked out by the grass. So I have them all marked, and I put down drip tape. I actually put down some slow release fertilizer first. So those little hydrangeas are really, the last 2 days since I've gotten the weeds out, really popping up. I have like 2 or 3 more in here, and that is a hydrangea that I got earlier this spring, so that's transplanted and bouncing back. But you can see the daffodils are now spent and the tulips are opening. And then in front are daylilies and hostas. There are some daylilies there, and some peonies, and a rugosa rose. My goal for this area was to just create a beautiful perennial garden, and I know it's going to take years to really get it going, but I'm happy with how it's turning out, especially after I weeded it. Those tulips really helped. Adding some color in there really makes a difference, and so I'm excited to see those continue to bloom. There's some that are still just getting heads on them, so we'll have a couple more weeks for sure, and then should be the daylilies will start to show a little bit of color shortly after that. So that'll be nice. I'm really glad about that. You can see I do have, where the mulch is right now. I have more mulch to put down, but I just didn't get to it last night. But where the mulch is, there's almost like a walkway, and I don't want that. But I do have smaller hydrangeas in there. So I still have to weed. I have to finish weeding first. And then this summer, I'm just going to keep my eyes open for some perennials that might fit in there well. And so my goal is to get this front area from the grass edging to the tulips, or through to the back of the tulips, cleaned up, mulched, and everything this spring. And then this summer, if I find something that seems like it would be a good fit there, then I can just stick those in. All right, now let's head down to the high tunnel. Beck's boat is really looking good. In the front here we have irises. These are the peonies I planted, and I did plant some cosmos, or he planted some cosmos in there, which are those ones there. And then, the celosia. Those 3, the cosmos, the peonies, and the celosia, are the only annuals in here so far. These are Cheyenne Spirit coneflowers, and these are Alaskan daisies, the irises, and then there's tons of different lilies in here too. And then he just planted some sedum as a ground cover. to try to help kind of mulch it a bit. And then over here on the side, there's some lilies, and then rugosa rose, and then some peonies. Here's all the sheep and the sheep babies. They are back in this little pasture area because we need to process, and by process I mean like tag, dock tails, vaccinate, all of that kind of stuff. So we are going to do that, and so we are keeping this area here as their home base. That way we can work them through the chute, and we can contain them in the barn easier. But they go out the little red gate up by the barn, and right now they are working on grazing down the grass in the parking area. So right now we're just using them as lawn mowers. The hardest part right now is they want to go out at night because it is cooler and everything, and they want to stay in the barn during the day. So we're trying to train them to be out more during the day, maybe go out during the cooler parts of the day or whatever. But we don't want them out at night because that is not good with predators. So we're trying to train them. They're not happy about it, but it is what it is. The mosquitoes are also really, really thick right now. I'll put a video here that I recorded last night for Instagram. It was like a swarm of mosquitoes that must have just hatched. It was horrible. Anyways, they are not happy with those. They don't like flies, they don't like mosquitoes, they don't like getting bitten. So they are kind of a little bit more vocal than they usually are. But overall, they're really healthy and happy, and that's all that matters. Next door to them, we have the cows, and they are out grazing. We came home on Sunday. We went and saw Sydney. She got done with work at like 2, and so we went down and saw her, spent the day going to different greenhouses and having fun. And then we got to take her out to dinner, and we came home. We had a beautiful new heifer calf. So it's that little girl right there. And that's her mama. She's the one who I had to pull last year, pull the calf on because it was big and it was backwards. But they are doing wonderful. And then the other two are right here. Hi guys. So this one here is a heifer, and then the one behind is a bull. And they all look the same. She's got long legs, she's more lean, and he is short and stocky. So the only one that we have left to calve is Patches. She's the one in the back there with the white face. Otherwise, everybody else has calved. And this is the mom who lost her calf at the very beginning of calving season, and this is her calf from last year, and she thinks he's her calf from this year, and he is soaking it up. It's kind of funny to watch. Here are my tulips and daffodils. I went to a friend's perennial plant sale, and I was able to buy some more daylilies to put in here and some irises. So my goal is to have all color all summer long in here. But they are just absolutely gorgeous. You can see the daffodils, most of them, the early ones, are all spent now. But we have these awesome double head ones that are popping up. And all of these are naturalizing tulips and daffodils. There's some allium, I think is what it's called, in here as well. So these are all bulbs that are naturalizing, and so my plan is to just leave these and let them be. I do have some Cheyenne Spirit coneflowers in here as well. So once these guys die back, those will really start popping. And I think I have some mums in here too. I'm fairly certain there's some mums in here. I don't remember though. So our goal is just to keep adding to this and make it beautiful and lush and something that I just enjoy. So here inside the high tunnel, it's kind of chaos. but we have lots of stuff going on. These were little tiny plants from the plant sale that I wasn't going to sell because they were too small, and so I got those planted over the weekend. So that felt good to get some plants in the ground. Everywhere else has been kind of moved around and rearranged so that it's efficient to come in and water when the plant sale isn't going on. And I have plants kind of everywhere in here, so I need to sit and get things organized so that I feel a little bit more less hodgepodge, more put together. One of the things we're going to do in the next few days is get the netting going out further and over to here and let either the sheep or the cows graze in here. I don't really want to let the cows graze in here unless I get more protection on my apple trees and my pear trees. So I'm not sure about that, but the sheep for sure to graze it down. But before we do that, I have some tree wrap to go on the bottom so that they don't eat the bark off of the trees. And so that is going to be on my list for today so that I have everything kind of ready that I can prior to us making a decision about who's going in this area next. For the protection on the apple tree trunk, I bought a pack of these just off of Amazon. What it basically is like the plastic chicken cloth, chicken wire, and it's cut into pieces that are, I don't remember how big they are. They were like 3 or 4 feet tall, and so what you just do is you wrap it around the base of the trunk and then you just zip tie it. So that is what I'm going to do right now to get these on the apple trees, and then that way we can put the sheep in there to graze if we want to. I am leaning more towards sheep, but we'll just have to see on how fast they're eating versus how fast the cows are eating. But I need to get this done, and so this is a good quick project to do before I have to move on to the next thing. Last year I planted, what is this called? Oh, it starts with a C. Oh, it'll take a moment for me to think of what it's called. Comfrey. So I planted 4 things of comfrey around each tree, and they are looking amazing. And my plan is that these will get big enough to kind of cover and choke out a lot of this, and then I can cut and like lay leaves down to keep choking as a natural mulch. But comfrey is a nitrogen fixer, so this is perfect to put around things like apple trees and in your garden, that kind of stuff, because it'll fix the nitrogen in your garden. There we go. I got all those done. There's one that I didn't get done, and that is because it is in a bunch of burning nettles. So we got to weed whip that first before I can put that wrap on. Back in the high tunnel, I have been working on some planters for Owen's business. He wanted 2 of them for each side of his door. And this is good to get a lot of these out of here because I have all sorts of plants separated in different areas, so I want to be able to start making progress on these and getting them where they need to go. And so I made these big planters. He picked out a couple of things for them, and then I am filling in the rest with what I have here. So he wants these cedar trees planted in the center. They're too heavy to move, especially if I fill in this center hole and put the cedar tree in. So when we bring them to his business, we'll put the cedar tree in. So right now it's just hollow on the inside there. But what we have here is he picked out some lavender. He picked out some other flowers too, but they just didn't go with this. And so then I took and I filled in with what we had. So there are some ground cover. They're kind of like a sedum or a succulent, but they spread, and it's like a type of ground cover. We bought like a brick of it from Home Depot, and it was like 12 by 12 by like that big, by like an inch or two. And it was just like a big square of this stuff, and so I cut it up and stuck it in as spacers. But you can see we have these guys, I don't remember what they're called, and these guys will grow and spread, and they have all different colored flowers. And there are zinnias, there's some lavender here, and then there's some tall marigolds, one here, one there, and then this is a delphinium, so it's going to get some tall spikes. The spikes will actually be taller than the cedar tree. And then in the back I just put some more of that succulent ground cover. So those should really start growing now that they are in soil and out of the little plugs that I had. And I gave them a quick fertilizer and water spray. And then tomorrow he's going to bring them down to a store, and then we can get the rest of it planted and give it all a good soaking. But for now, I got those done, so that is great. So when he gets home, I need his help in getting those out of here so I can walk around a little more. But we're making progress, one step at a time. And now I have about an hour before I have to get back from school, and so I'm gonna keep planting tomatoes. Another 11 tomatoes in the ground, and looks like 3 basil plants, and we are almost done with row 1, and then we move on to row 2. I'm gonna go get cleaned up and then go get back from school. But that is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.